Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Other stuff to go over as well, of course. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashie. Hello, Dashie. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. And yeah, let's get to it. So we'll start off with the Grumpycat and bojack. Grumpycat had a little more volume than yesterday, about 127,000 at about a $1.1 million market cap, only up about 0.5%, so nothing crazy to write home about. The bojack we'll take a look at, and we'll see. It is staying steady at about 500,000. Market cap down about 2.68%, so it was up a little higher yesterday. Again, really not going to be too much up until you see some other stuff come out, some other utility, maybe a little more wallet holders, and then you'll start to see a little bit of rolling in the deep, as Adele would say. OMI had a little bit of up and down today, so at the end of the day, it was only up about 0.3%, but had 744,000 in volume. We did at one point hit 000645, which is pretty cool. But then again, right back down. There was somebody that was messaging me today. He's like, hey, a bunch of other stuff is running. Should I sell some OMI and get some other stuff? It's like, okay, well, I think one of it was about like Myra, MYRIA or something. And I was like, listen, I just took a look at that. It literally just did a 6X. I mean, I wouldn't go and sell OMI for something that's doing a 6X. I would go and potentially sell OMI for something that is poised to do something's coming out like today or tomorrow in the next couple days or like week or two, and then you flip that and then put that back into OMI. Like, but generally I kind of like to stay where I am. If any new money, like I put, a lot of new money into Grumpycat, or I put a little bit of new money into bojack. But selling one for the other, especially while it's down, again, that's just not something that I would do, but, to each their own. I don't believe we stay down here for more than 2 more months. It might actually be, I'm going to say like 6 weeks. I'm sure Veve's going to have something, or Akomi's going to have something, some new developments for OMI before the France event. Now, I could be wrong about that. I just don't think you'd want to go to that event empty-handed, where the last thing you had was 5 months prior, and it's soft staking. Again, I'm just throwing that out there. Moving on. So taking a look at Stacker, we can go. Actually, I'll show you guys what it is on the Twitter, and then you might be able to ask if you can go there. You can't really go there right now, just because Stacker World is only open to Veve members that have a gold and silver logo, or Veve members that have 10 million staked on their app. So if you're either one of those, you have beta access. I've been having beta access for a while, but they're opening up to a lot more betas right now. So it is Stacker, STACKR World. So that's Sierra, Tango, Alpha, Charlie, Kilo, Romeo, World. And you can see that over on the X. And you can visit Stacker World, or Stacker.world, and it'll show you some really cool things. One of which I really like is their leaderboards. And on their leaderboards, you can go and see, oh, hey, on Marvel, I'm ranked number like 293. Cool. Like there's only 292 other people that have more Marvel collectibles than I do on Veve. However, if you go to the sub 100s, I'm ranked number 3, as in I have 100 sub 100 collectibles for Marvel. Now, most of these are Marvel Mighties. A bunch of like the static statues, like not Wolverine, like Storm or Spider-Man, or like anything of those statues. I really don't have a lot. I have a couple Alligator Lokis that are sub 100, but for the most part, they're Marvel Mighties. And we have another Marvel Mighty coming out on Sunday. I'm gonna go and spend the rest of my money on that. It's just a couple $100. It's not a lot. If I did not have rent to pay tomorrow, I'd be going like 500-600 deep in this. But because I do, I'll put in like 200. I'll get 10 of them. I'll put 250 in. These are $25 per, and a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, this is, it's like the most expensive Marvel Mighty. It's like, have you guys been paying attention? There are 2 other Marvel Mighties that were more expensive than this, and both of them were single, just like this one. You had Captain Carter, which was 30 gems, had 6,000 mints, and then you had the Deadpool Chimichanga truck, which was 40 gems, and then had also 6,000 mints. So this is a lot less, or a lot less mints. It has 1,800 mints, which means 1710. And that has a 25 gem price point. So for this, I'm pretty happy with. Like I said, I'll mint like 10 of them. If one of those is sub 100, great. If not, no big deal. You know, I'll get some eventually. I'll get some maybe December 15th. One, because that's my birthday. And two, because on December 15th, they have Veve's teased a couple of things. We'll go over this right now because this is important. So yesterday, did Veve tease that? Yeah. So yesterday, I think I've gone over this with Bill Gardner yesterday, and if I didn't, that's my bad. Actually, I don't think I did. So let's go to the actual Twitter, and on the Twitter, if you go to Veve, so there's two parts to this. One is on Twitter, or X, and Veve had just made a post. I'll show you exactly when. Oh, we have to go over the stamps too. And it just said, oh, something returns. All right, I'm going to pause. Oh, here it goes. So something's returning. Now, a lot of people are saying like, oh, maybe it's an old license, like Star Trek. Like Star Trek is returning because it went it hecked off to Recur, and then a lot of these other licenses that had gone on and signed with Recur, obviously they're regretting their decision right now, and oh, who's welcoming up with open arms but Big Daddy Veve? So that is one particular option. That is something that, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, that can fit. You have a license that we had that went over to Recur and it's coming back. I would think that Hello Kitty also fits that, but to my knowledge, I don't think Hello Kitty's been to space. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there's been an episode or something where Hello Kitty had gone to space, but I think the more fitting thing is like Return of the Jedi. Like there's a bunch of stuff in there. Somebody messaged me this morning about it saying like, oh, well, you know, the title doesn't really make sense. Actually, let me read this message. Okay, I can't actually read the message, but I could say one of the arguments was, you know, so the title might not make sense. Excuse me. Oh, God. Oh, bless me. Sorry. I saved y'all from having to hear that. It was loud. Saying that the title might not make sense because, you know, Yoda is missing, you know, he does not return. Well, I basically say, well, I think it's more the fact that Luke is finally a full-fledged Jedi. You know, blue lightsabers are typically only used by Padawans and Jedi Knights, and green is usually saved for Masters. So after he crafted his own lightsaber and returns, he's a full-fledged Jedi. So he's returning as a Jedi in his prime, something the universe really hadn't seen for decades, aside from Ahsoka Tano, which doesn't really consider herself a Jedi. But I think having something Star Wars related makes a little more sense. Now, that being said, they did post over on Facebook as well. And on Facebook, this is why I mentioned December 15th, saying, a first-of-its-kind drop is coming to Veve on 15 December. And then, you know, again, they show stars and they show 15 December. Oh, first-of-its-kind, what is that? So a lot of people are thinking, oh, musical vertical, because David said on Dr. Stuff and Crypto Rain Stream that music would be coming in December. So this actually makes a lot of sense. And then Alex pointed out... Alex pointed out on my post on X where I said, hey everyone, it looks like Veve Official is teasing something fun on December 15th, my birthday. Comment down below what you think it can be. Can't be drop points with MCP, right? Right? Very kind of teasing that, oh, maybe it could be something like that. And then Alex says, it literally says comics at the bottom of that ad. And yes, he is correct. It does say discover licensed digital comics on the Veve app. So that is, yes, if you take that at face value, oh, okay, well, I guess it's a certain type of comic. But we've had comics before on here, and if it says, okay, first of its kind drop, well, it's obviously not anything Disney, because we've had Disney comics, we have Star Wars comics, we have Tarzan comics, all the Marvel comics. So a lot of people were thinking like, oh, is it DC Comics? I don't think it's DC Comics. But it could be like a normal Star Wars comic, but it could have sound to it. And when it says returning, like maybe Return of the Jedi. So the soundtrack would be pretty epic. I think that would be pretty fun. Again, that's just kind of my own interpretation of it right now. Comment down below what you think it is. And anyway, if it's really cool, then a lot of people would probably be selling their Thanos copter at that point. And that Thanos copter, if it sells out, is going to be like $42,000. So it'll sell out eventually. It might not sell out right away. Like it might not sell out in like, 12 hours. But it will sell out eventually. And this is cool. Like this is unlike any other Mighty we've ever seen. Now, sure, the Ant-Man stuff had, they were interactive and, you could poke the face and then you have it with their mask on or without their mask. So again, that's cool. And part of the reason maybe why it sold out. But Thanos, on the other hand, this is animated and has sound. Like this is is dope. This is really cool. And it's Thanos. And Thanos is a fan favorite. It's a first appearance helicopter for, I think, for Veve and for the Mighties in general. So it's another vehicle. It's an ultra rare. It's a full set by itself. I think this is pretty cool. And like I said, this is animated with sound, so this might even sell out in 12 hours. And speaking of selling out, Veve had 2 drops today, one of which was the Uncanny X-Men 1963. That was the first appearance of the Blob. That did sell out, so that was about, what is 54.50 and times by 7, so figure that's 38,000. And let's say the Presidential Series, these stamps, which did okay. So let's take a look here. Oh, actually 6, 7. Okay, so let's do like another. So I think they had over 50, between 50 and 55,000. You know, back of the napkin math between the comic and the stamp. So it's a pretty good day for Veve. And I happened to go, and I didn't get anything on the drop, maybe like I should have. But again, gems are pretty tight right now. But however, I did happen to get a Ulysses S. Grant. Oh, you can't see that. That's a little too bright. I did happen to get a Ulysses S. Grant. The reason why I got him is just because he has a... by the way, if you get all of these stamps, all 7 of them, you get airdropped another stamp, which is cool. And it might be worth it, because I don't think a ton of these are really selling. But I like Ulysses S. Grant is because if anyone's ever seen Hell on Wheels, he's in one of the later seasons of that. You know, he helps the Transcontinental Railroad after the Civil War be built. It's cool. He's either president at the time or running for president. Spoilers, you know. Anyway, but he's an alcoholic, and obviously I don't like him because of that. But he's just a little more relatable because of that. You know, going from I forget where he went. He went to college somewhere, and then he fought in the Mexican-American War, and then the Civil War happened after he got out. He's just like, all right, my country needs me. I'm going back in. He wins a bunch of these battles, becomes a hero for the Union. And I really, really like that. And you know, veterans struggling with alcoholism. Where have we seen that before? You know, so I really like him. So I just got one of his stamps. And I might get a sub 100 at some point too. Because again, I like him. He's relatable, damn it. Okay, moving on. Oh, and I'm just going to shout out Comics and Crypto because I really like them. And anyone that says they're anything negative about them is probably not the best person or entity. So yeah, Comics and Crypto, really cool. Love those guys. So we have a really cool drop that's coming out soon. For the first time, the Sentinels walk the Earth, and only one X-Men can stop them. I won't post any spoilers. But Marvel's Uncanny X-Men 1963, or Marvel's Uncanny X-Men number 14 from 1963, features Veve exclusive rare and ultra rare covers by Spider-Wheel and Jean-Francois Boileau. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. But that will be December 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If anyone's ever seen the 90s animated series from X-Men, you know, like oh, it's so good. The first couple episodes are that. Like, the Sentinels come in, it's Days of Future Past. It is so heckin' good. I cannot... Oh my god, this is such an epic comic. I really enjoy it. Now, this doesn't go for crazy money, like 6 figures, but a 9.6 last sold for $14,000, so it is in the 5 figures. A 9.8, obviously a little bit higher. I'm getting one, not necessarily just for, because it's worth a lot. It's an epic story. It's just the way they, it's beautiful. So I did a poll in the Marvel Mighties and said, question for my Veve peeps, how many sets of Marvel Mighties do y'all have? The choices were 0, 1 to 5, 6 to 11, or all 12. 39% that they did not have any Marvel Mighties. 32% so they had 1 to 5. 10% they had 6 to 11, and 19% had all 12. So it's kind of a mixed bag there, with a lot leaning towards not having any. Well, that is skewed a little bit. There was one person that's like, I don't have any, but I am a master collector. And then they say, oh, actually, I checked, I have 3. I was like, oh, okay. Because some of these are very, very cheap, and they're full sets. Good for MCP points. So I'm going to say that if you're a troll, people are going to look at your Twitter. They're going to look at your X. And if you're being a dirty old man and you're commenting on some woman's feet pics, people are going to find out and they're going to make fun of you for it. Like, that's just the way it is. So it's public, just letting y'all know. People can see what you like and see what you comment on. That is hysterical. Oh, good times. So David goes and posts, if you know, you know, sharing a meme with Eminem saying, will the real Dr. Prophet please stand up. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that means, but that is hysterical. I got a pic. Oh, I can't show that picture. Okay, I got a picture of Dr. Prophet right here. I know who he is. He's Spider-Man. I just thought that one was really fun. David also had posted a picture of a helicopter, just because we do happen to have a the Thanos helicopter coming out. So I think David's just having fun with things. David goes and posts a lot. He posts a lot of fun things that sometimes have meaning, sometimes they don't. He reposted Veve Digital Collectibles recently, saying something's returning, which I don't know what that is either. That again, that's probably the what has to do with December 15th. Yeah, moving on. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye to Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow. Happy end of November. Woo!